Have you ever done something kind for someone you thought was no longer part of your life? What if a simple favor turned into a moment that changed your future forever? A few years ago, I got a phone call that completely caught me off guard. The person on the other end was someone I never expected to hear from again, my ex-girlfriend's mom. What she asked seemed simple at first, but by the end of that day, I learned a lesson about kindness, forgiveness, and unexpected blessings that I will never forget. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Kindness Moments. Give this video a like, and leave a comment telling us about a time when kindness came back to you in an unexpected way. Your stories inspire others more than you know. Now, let me tell you what happened. 3 years earlier, my relationship with my girlfriend, Sarah, had ended. We weren't right for each other, and after months of trying to make things work, we went our separate ways. The breakup was difficult, but it wasn't ugly. We simply moved on with our lives. After that, I never really spoke to Sarah or her family again. So when my phone rang one Saturday morning and I saw her mother's name on the screen, I was surprised. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to pick up. "Hello," I said. "Hi, Jake," she replied softly. "I hope I'm not bothering you." It was Linda, Sarah's mom. She sounded nervous. "Not at all," I said. "Is everything okay?" There was a brief pause. "Well," she said, "the fence in my backyard was damaged during the storm last week. I know you used to help with repairs around the house. I was wondering if you could take a look." I hesitated for a moment. I hadn't seen Linda in years. Still, she had always treated me kindly when Sarah and I were together. And honestly, she sounded like she really needed help. "Sure," I said. "I can come by this afternoon." The relief in her voice was immediate. "Thank you, Jake. That means a lot." A few hours later, I arrived at her house. The backyard fence was in rough shape. Several sections had collapsed, and some of the wooden posts were leaning dangerously. It was going to take much longer than I expected. Linda greeted me warmly and offered me lemonade. "You don't know how much I appreciate this," she said. "No problem," I replied. "I'll do what I can." As I worked, memories kept coming back. This backyard had once been filled with birthday parties, family cookouts, and happy conversations. For a moment, it felt like stepping into a chapter of my life I thought had closed forever. Hours passed. The sun got hotter. The repair turned into a much bigger project than I had planned. By late afternoon, I was tired and covered in dirt. Linda came outside and looked at the progress. "You've already done more than I expected," she said. But when I glanced at the unfinished section, I knew the job wasn't complete. "I'll finish it," I told her. She looked at me carefully. "Are you sure?" "Yeah," I said with a smile. "If I'm going to do it, I might as well do it right." That's when she said something strange. "Finish the job, and I'll reward you in a way you never expected." I laughed. "What does that mean?" She simply smiled. "You'll see." I didn't think much about it. I assumed she was joking. So I kept working. By sunset, the fence was finally standing straight and strong again. I stepped back and admired the finished work. It looked better than it had before the storm. Linda walked over, looking emotional. "Thank you," she said quietly. "You really didn't have to spend your whole day doing this." "It's okay," I replied. Then she surprised me. "Come inside," she said. "I want to show you something." Curious, I followed her into the house. She led me to the dining room table. Sitting there was a small photo album. She opened it carefully. Inside were pictures from years ago. Photos of family gatherings, holiday dinners, summer barbecues, and many of them included me. I smiled as I flipped through the pages. "Wow," I said. "I haven't seen these in years." Linda nodded. "You know, Jake, after you and Sarah broke up, I always admired how respectful you were." I looked up. She continued. "You never blamed anyone. You never spoke badly about our family. You simply moved on with grace." I didn't know what to say. She closed the album. Kindness like that is rare. Then she handed me an envelope. I immediately tried to refuse. "Linda, you don't need to pay me." "It's not payment," she said. "Just open it." Inside was a handwritten letter. At first, I was confused. Then I started reading. The letter was from a local business owner, a friend of Linda's. Apparently, she had told him about my work ethic, my character, and how I was always willing to help others. He was looking for someone to manage operations at his growing construction company. At the bottom of the letter was a phone number and a personal recommendation. I stared at it in disbelief. "What is this?" Linda smiled. "My reward." I was speechless. At the time, I had been stuck in a job that offered little opportunity. I had been searching for something better for months. And now, completely out of nowhere, an opportunity was sitting in my hands. You recommended me? I asked. Of course, she said. You earned it years ago. A few weeks later, I met with the business owner. The interview went incredibly well. A month after that, I started my new position. That job changed everything. It provided financial stability, career growth, and eventually allowed me to start a business of my own. But the most important thing I gained wasn't money. It was perspective. That day taught me that kindness is never wasted. Sometimes we help people because it feels right. Sometimes we offer our time expecting nothing in return. And often, we never see the impact we make. But kindness has a way of traveling farther than we realize. It leaves impressions on people. It creates opportunities. It opens doors we never knew existed. Years later, I still think about that fence. What started as a simple favor became one of the most important days of my life. Not because of the opportunity that followed, but because it reminded me that doing the right thing matters, even when nobody is watching. If there's one lesson I hope you take from this story, it's this. Never underestimate the power of a small act of kindness. You may think you're simply helping someone fix a problem, but you could be restoring hope, rebuilding trust, or changing a life, including your own. Thank you for listening to this story. And remember, kindness has a way of coming back when you least expect it. So keep helping, keep caring, and keep believing that even the smallest good deed can create a ripple that reaches farther than you can imagine. Until next time, stay kind.